I wanted to share this story out of New York. I believe, yeah, it's the Brooklyn Bridge and some really heroic cops who came to the rescue of somebody in distress.
What's happening today? I want to help you. That's why I'm up here right now. I genuinely care. I do. I don't know what you're going through, but I want to understand. The strongest thing you can do right now is accept help. I promise you. What you gonna for? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, please. Please.
Very scary moment here.
I got you. Everything is gonna be okay. You're not in trouble.
I mean, there's so many emotions that go through your heart and your head when you watch this. Officer Christian Yepes, whose voice you hear on that video speaking to this woman, and Detective Eric Miller, who was right behind him, join us now. So, gentlemen, you saved this woman's life, and you're heroes, and we want to thank you for everything that you do at the NYPD. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris, let me start with you, officer. Tell me what was going through your mind and your heart as you were climbing up there towards her and speaking with her.
I just sharing a quick video of these two police officers and some others who are rescuing a woman in distress off the Brooklyn Bridge. You know, we get so many bad things, you know, all this crap about cops and everything. And here they are, you know, talking this woman down, rescuing her. She,
I think Al Gonzalez probably had to do that also. It seems like every cop in their career at some point ends up either birthing a baby or rescuing somebody by talking them down from suicide on a bridge.
Yeah, well,
I mean, they're very common events in big, giant cities. So it's not,
true.
and over the course of your career, it seems like everyone had one or the other.
But think of the ripples of it too. Like, you know, potentially, I don't know her age or anything, but there could be an entire family line that would have disappeared. But you know, for their efforts,
yeah,
she might have children.
Oh yeah,
and then they may have children, and it's so remarkable. You know how one act can be, you know, really important.
The butterfly effect, right?
Definitely. And I think it's wonderful to share, you know, heroes who are doing this.
What bridge was it? Did it say what bridge it was?
Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn Bridge. Boy, a lot of people died building the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, they did a thing on, I think it was the Brooklyn Bridge, and I found it one of the scariest thing of concepts of all. They talked to people who tried to take themselves out on the bridge who survived, because not everybody died who has jumped off of it.
Right.
And one thing that was of note was some of them said that they don't even know why they did it. It was like just this weird impulse. And I was like, that's one of the scariest things I've ever heard.
Because might have been in a blackout mentally. You know?
Maybe they just don't know. You know, it's just like all of a sudden they just did, and then it was too late. I'm like, okay, don't tell me that. I want to sleep at night.
Roebling, the designer of the bridge, actually died from some cement block falling on his head when he was building the bridge.
Wow.
The guy, dude, so many people died in the making of this bridge. I think 14 people died constructing it.
That's almost as bad as the submarine that has my name.
Yeah.
Horace Hunley died in his own invention. The original
Washington Roebling suffered severe caisson disease while working in the underwater foundations. Chester A. Arthur, our friend Eric, was there for the opening, and the guy's wife had to represent him, Emily Roebling,
as president or as a New York fixer. I know he was a fixer, but
no, as president, 1883, okay. Grand opening with President Chester Arthur. Huge celebrations, massive fireworks. A week later, a false rumor of the collapse of the bridge caused a deadly stampede, killing everyone.
Oof. Wow. All right. Well, let's.
People were easily stampeded back in the day.
Apparently. All right. Well, we're going to jump right into torn from the headlines at the Capitol swill.
Yeah, go ahead. This is what we were talking about the new guy in the Animal House. As it says right on the front page, revealed third member of Democratic Animal House had sex with 2 aides. Buddy Eric Swalwell resigned. Other pal Jimmy Gomez had affair. That's under investigation as well.
What a great bunch.
And the other shoe is not falling on this, so it's like a slow drip water torture for these other 2 gentlemen.
Well, Gallegos just barely got in, but I do think his presidential ambitions have been pretty much shattered.
Yeah, I think Mark Halpern has taken him off the list. And apparently there's a new guy on the list. I don't know if you saw the new addition to the list. A former fruit from CNN says that he...
God. He's not on Halpern's list.
Well, they said he's going to have to be added to it because he says he's seriously thinking of running, and they showed a video clip, Larry O'Connor, of this backyard party or interview of Don Lemon. It was what we're talking about.
Yeah.
This backyard interview of Don Lemon where he says that, and the interviewer says, "You're kidding, right?" And he says, "No, I'm not. I've been asked by very powerful people repeatedly in the past few months to run for president." And he's got, there it is. Yeah.
Ambition, is that true?
No, but people keep asking me if I'm running for president, and I don't know. I might. I'm serious. I don't know. I might, because people keep asking me to do it, or if I'm going to do it. And I look around, and I see the folks who are, possibly in the running, and some of them are impressive. Many of them, most of them are not. And
he could be less impressive than them.
Yeah, if I could get in there.
Have a ton of political experience, because our current president had none, and that's very obvious. I actually think I would be a really good president of the United States.
Okay, you're being serious.
No, I'm being totally serious.
Is that true?
There we go.
Yeah, the guy doesn't even believe it, having been told to his face in his own backyard by Don Lemon, who's I think currently under indictment for the debacle in the Minnesota church scandal, right, Eric?
He might have slipped charges, though. I know a judge dropped it. I think the magistrate judge dropped it, or somebody dropped it. So but then they went to the grand jury. So I don't know the status.
I don't know the status of it, but he can use that on his resume.
Well,
he's an unemployed podcaster. Really, what his job is now, right?
Yeah. Remember, he was he was going to have a Twitter show. I think it was still Twitter at the time. Brought on Elon Musk as his first guest, and literally went after the hand. I mean, he showed, this is how you bite the hand that feeds you. Watch me, folks. And his show ended immediately.
Wow, what a retard!
Oh my God, yeah.
It might be time for a gay Black Democratic nominee at this point. I mean, what they've had everything else. They had the black guy, the black woman, the white woman. Now I think they need the black gay man just to cover everything. I mean, they want to get Pete Buttigieg in there, and Halpern is believing that if they go to New Hampshire first, which is what he said today, as opposed to South Carolina, that it would give the lack of diversity would give Pete Buttigieg a leg up.
Yes, it would, because they have so few blacks there. Because I think Buttigieg is averaging 0.01% of the black vote, or zero. He's right in that zero. Maybe
top guy for the blacks. Top guy for the blacks. Pete Buttigieg, a tiny dwarf-like man who's gay, who has now had his children seized by the city in some domestic squabble with his gay partner.
Wow, which brings us right back to the original story and this headline: a sleazy act to swallow. Sorry, I can't help it.
Yeah, it's just worth it for the headlines. I mean, when I say torn from the headlines are sometimes better than the article itself, this is a reference to the cover story that we were talking about. Gallego is part of the frat culture of Representative Eric Swalwell resigned, and Representative Jimmy Gomez, currently under investigation, who treated the House as one big party. 3 months ago, the charismatic trio, known as whatever they were known as, were partying all over town.
I don't even know.
Animal House is the great takeaway from this entire thing, though.
Absolutely. I don't know who Jimmy Gomez is. So I honestly, I'm like, who's that?
Well, there's 435 Gomez's in the house, so Gomez-like people, but he's one of them.
Could be. Well, you know what? You can make that joke, but now it's what's the number one name in Michigan? Muhammad.
Muhammad. Yeah. In fact, that's the middle name of El Said.
I know.
And his opponent keeps calling him Mohammed.
I thought they'd call him Ahmed. Oh wait. Anyway, whatever. It's the whole last.
He keeps calling him by his.
All right, so we've got the polls are starting to spread, and Becerra is running away with it. Shocking.
I don't know what's so shocking about this. I mean, what was shocking was the belief that this was a real race, and the Steyer, who desperately wanted to move ahead of Hilton to make it a real race, which is what it would have.
Which he would, yeah.
Which he would. The Becerra, Biden, Harris forces did whatever they could to promote Steve Hilton to get him into the final round against Becerra. And now you're seeing the results begin to spread out in this non-race. This is a non-election, as I said from day one. The idea that some bald-headed British guy from Fox News would win the governorship in California was so laughable to me that I immediately lost interest in the governor's part of the race. Now, the only one who could win here is a Schwarzenegger type, somebody who's got name recognition, who is conservative, but had some liberal aspects to his politics, but none of that applies to Steve Hilton. So, tip of the hat, he wanted Spencer Pratt to get involved. Spencer Pratt has smartly avoided this death cycle of a campaign now.
Well, partly because Steve Hilton just said, "Oh no, everything is perfect and clear. The election is fine. Nothing to see there." And it's like, if I was Pratt, I'd be like, "Yeah, well, you're on your own, bitch."
That's what Pratt ostensibly has done. He wanted Pratt to help him, and Pratt's busy on a national scale now, while attacking Nithya and Karen Bass locally, because he may run again in 4 years.
Well, ironically, I think that Pratt would have done better in the governor's race than he did in the LA race, because at least he could have gotten the spread outside of LA and just kept lumping them together. His city and the state. Gavin
this
Newsom
might be the
and
biggest landslide gubernatorial race in California history. I'm going to stick my neck out.
Oh, what a nice deal. Well, that's your state.
I'm sorry.
All right. And speaking of your state, you got your busted pipes. And I played the video earlier.
We saw the video on this earlier. Brutal. It's brutal because these people, there's some old ladies who live in these buildings who are having a heart attack. Their living rooms filled up with water. I mean, this could happen in a rural environment. Obviously, granted, you could live in a rural environment, like Texas is flooding again down in Texas. But when you live in Tennessee now, Abbott just declared it a disaster area in Texas. But when you're living in an urban environment and you wake up and your apartment is filled with water at 7 o'clock in the morning and you're a senior citizen, it's a little startling. There's one guy who was on disability and his car was gone. And he said, "I don't know how I'm going to get food." By the way, there's no power. The air conditioning's out. Their food has been destroyed. And it's 100 degrees at the same time. This is all under Karen Bass's watch. Now, West Hollywood obviously has its own mayor. It's a separate city, but they share the pipes down below with LA City.
What's irony you can't make up, because
I know.
You can't find water to fight a damn fire.
Right.
But now you just flood out with your own.
Well, it's so funny because the woman we talked about last week who had lost her homeowner's insurance in Mar Vista was outraged that the insurance companies are pulling out of California. And yesterday you saw why. Right. No, because a million different variables seem to continue to happen. And the insurance companies are just not going to pay out like slot machines. And people think that the government should force them to do it. Like they should force them not to leave the state of California. They should force them to give you insurance premiums for your homeowner's insurance at gunpoint. They're so far gone socialistically in their minds, Eric, that they believe these options that of course the insurance companies have to keep paying out.
No, I agree. It,
They have no idea what's going to break next. There was a gay guy. This was in a gay area. It's a gay guy on TV yesterday. He had moved from Silver Lake, it was a little bit east of me, because they had a massive water main break. He moved to West Hollywood this year, only to suffer destruction from yet another water main break.
Wow, that is horrible and brutal.
Well, it's complete urban decay at this point. It's complete collapse of the infrastructure, which they refuse to repair before it breaks, because that would mean money going out instead of it coming in.
Yeah, well, you can't grift off of money when you're fixing shit.
Right. That's just pure no profit, pure loss to them. They did the annual homeless count in February, and now they're refusing to release the numbers of homeless. And the indicator among the media, who now smells a rat, is that the numbers have gone up. So, which is usually the case. So Bass and the head of the homeless NGO said it's because of Trump cutting off money for fraud, which happened literally 30 days ago, having no effect on the actual homeless count back in February. That is the reason that it may be higher than the year before, but they're not saying, because the count will be released soon. When pressed as to the definition of soon, the mayor restated the word soon.
Wow.
Dude, you can't make this up. You can't make it up.
Amazing. Well, great. All right, next up we have, what is this? Knaves furious over ride noise?
You cannot believe this. They have created a new roller coaster ride at Universal, and the people on the ride are screaming at the top of their lungs, and nobody can work in the surrounding neighborhood because they are hearing every four seconds people screaming at the top of their lungs from the ride, which is at Universal.
That must be a hell of a scary ride, because didn't they have rides that people screamed on before? I mean, is that
right? But not 6 inches away from people's homes, Eric.
Wow.
Yeah. So the neighbors who are in these $1 million homes in Studio City and Universal City, the surrounding neighborhoods, are losing their minds because they can't even work at home. The screaming and the machinery of the sound of the machinery is so deafening that they're sitting there with headphones on now in their own homes.
Wow.
That's urban planning, my friend.
Well, I mean, I look at it and I kind of wonder, we have a similar situation here, but I blame the residents on some of this, because we have Naval Air Station.
Right.
And that has jets. Jets aren't known for being quiet. And they're always taking off and going out. And then people buy houses right near Naval Air Station. Then they bitch about the noise. I'm like, well, now hold on. Naval Air Station existed before you. So that's why I was asking about the ride.
That's just stupid. No. This is new. This is a new ride. Yeah, no, these people are fucked. NBC Universal, the owners of the ride, indicate that they are going to somehow squelch the sound. I don't know how that's going to work, but
they probably have to, because if you can pull out a decibel meter, there are certain laws about.
Oh no, absolutely. But the screaming of everyone on board, they said, is just hair raising.
I imagine so, and of course, there's Universal is probably secretly going, "Oh, good, this is going to get more people riding this."
Yeah, it's apparently,
read the article in there.
Every 14 seconds is another blood-curdling scream from hundreds of people on the ride.
Wow.
Yeah, that could be slightly annoying.
Yeah, I get that. Jesus.
Torn from the headlines, my friend. Support for the gas car ban on empty.
What?
Support of gas car ban on empty here in California. Oh, okay. The polling numbers on gas cars versus electric cars has now flipped, went from 56% to 69% among independents to keep gas-powered cars. And now keep in mind, well, why is this important? It's important because Knucklehead signed a law 4 years ago saying that by 2035 there can no longer be gas-powered cars in the state of California.
And that included trucks and semis.
Yes. So this ticking clock, we're now within the 10-year window of this ticking clock, and the polling on this issue has completely flipped to where, again, there was no polling before. He simply unilaterally created and signed a bill that nobody even was talking about to ban gas-powered cars from the state of California by 2035. So now, that the love of electric cars has waned, the polling for keeping gas-powered cars, of course, is going through the roof.
Right. Well, and I love how he can just make these arbitrary decisions of 2035. He's out of office. It doesn't affect him at all. He just throws a number out there in the future, and he's like,
absolutely,
look what I did. I mean, it's the ultimate virtue signaling bullshit, if you think.
Yeah. Well, this really affects people's real lives, because now something has got to be done to either incorporate it or get rid of it.
Yeah, because it's a real thing.
Law. It's the law.
You just bought your damn car and you can't even own it in 10. Yeah. That's so stupid. All right, doesn't add up. Oh yes, your Karen Bass quip about the homeless fatal ODs. Can you say that again for those who missed it the first time, please?
It's hard to explain.
Help me with the logic.
I'll say it again. She claims that the meth addiction, which she denied existed before, they put out the case that all these people simply needed apartments and they were homeless because they lost their apartments
and mental help.
Yeah. And that was their first line of defense, was they needed apartments. So they started to build apartment buildings. None of them went inside. They didn't want to be in there. Now she's claiming that their meth addiction was a secondary thing that developed by them having to stay up all night to protect their belongings from ransackers or other physical assault. So they smoked meth to stay up late at night to prevent themselves from being assaulted. You can't make this up. Just crazy, just absolutely batshit crazy.
Love it.
But first, Dr. Drew did the walkthrough with a bunch of other officials initially and came up with the fact that about 92% of the people on the streets are addicted to meth or fentanyl or both or alcohol. They denied the entire number. In other words, the denial of science, by a doctor, did not faze them in the slightest.
It's like with trans, that they say follow the science unless it's trans, and we ignore biology, or like you pointed out here, and we ignore that. So follow some science.
Well, the reason I'm saying that now is she's now admitting for the first time that these are meth addicts. However, there's an asterisk caveat. They became meth addicts because they were first homeless, which is a lie, and that they had to become meth addicts to save themselves, which is just a crazy thing. It's just a crazy story.
Well, give her time. She'll figure out a way to say that Trump made them homeless.
Well, they already did that. They said he cut off the money for the fraud.
Oh, that's right.
Because the fraud was so overwhelming that Trump cut off the money just recently, during this latest round of news media about fraud in Minnesota, that she's now blaming that for the homeless crisis.
Hey, Bradcliffe on the local said, so ask Cuba to take them in.
That would be fun.
That would be. I like that. All right. Braggart fraud Crip gets 9 years.
This is a guy.
I've seen this. I think he was in a Jubilee video.
I think you might be right. They used Instagram to lure accomplices who gave him access to their bank accounts, where he deposited forged checks and made off with the loot. Now, part of this story, which I was liked, is he hired runners to go through mailboxes and steal the mail, bring it to a safe house where they washed the checks. They then contacted people and said they had to deposit a check in their account, which was one of the washed fraudulent checks that they had stolen. And then he was able to extract the money from your account. I don't know what the Crip thing has to do with it, but he got 9 years on this beef.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if this is him, but he kind of
that I don't know
resembles a guy who Jubilee. I don't know if you've ever seen Jubilee has these things like they're surrounded, and it's like, one conservative against 20 liberals, or they have people walking back and forth. One of the things that they were doing was having black people guess who was the black person. So they would all be blindfolded, and then people who were talking. And he just kind of looks like the guy who actually was the white guy, and everybody thought
that I
he
don't
was
know.
black. So anyway, whatever.
He and his associates obtained checks stolen from the mail and then altered them or created counterfeit versions so they appeared to be payable to accomplices. This thing is how the stolen ballot market started. He brought these runners in who would go around the state stealing everyone's mail that's accessible here, which is most people, unless you live in a locked apartment building. But even then, if you can get into the lobby, there's plenty of mail floating around in the lobby of an apartment building. But definitely private homes are completely accessible, Eric.
Oh, no. This is something, and it's funny you bring this up because in Tucson, back when I was living there with my parents, because I moved away and then back or whatever, like back in the early 2000s, we always had to drive the mail to the mailbox. Because that was a thing. People would go steal mail out of everybody's mailbox for checks, literally, and wash them and and do that. So
that's why I've explained the mail-in ballot fraud started with that. Then they just picked up the mail-in ballots after COVID, and that became another form. I've been trying to explain this since COVID, but that's where it came from these runners who picked up checks and mail. Also started to pick up the mail-in ballots.
And I kind of, and back to the check fraud, like what he was doing. I kind of wonder if online banking hasn't cut into that very heavily, because a lot of people are just paying, online.
They're not using it to straight up buy stuff with the checks. He had another level to this scam where they don't go into details of the scam, but the scam was basically, I have a check for you. I want to deposit it in your account. Right. And then he says the check is $500, but I need $100 to deposit it. So they would now give you $100 out of your account because
that's an old-fashioned con.
Yes, no, that's what he did. He did that.
That's just a variant on one of the most famous cons of all, of like, I got to pick up this Western Union, but I can't do that.
Oh, no,
so
absolutely.
if you pay me, you can have the whole money, but I just need the $100 to get my ride back.
That's right.
There was a million variants.
Yeah, that's a variation of this.
Wow. And here's your Musk doc. May have a rich future. And this is the Alex Gibney, Elon Musk.
October 16th release date, the upcoming documentary on the Tesla mogul by Oscar-winning filmmaker Alex Gibney has received an October 16th release date, now putting the film in the thick of awards season, which was the point of that release date. It's going to start out at either Toronto or it's going to go to Venice, then Telluride, and Toronto, making a high-profile affair out of it.
I will tell you something. I hope he has his ducks in a row and his facts straight, because Elon Musk is one litigious mofo.
Yeah, he already sent out a salvo. Musk previously called it a hit piece on then Twitter back in 2023, to which Gibney replied, "How would you know?" So he's responded and baiting Musk now. So I hope Musk completely buries him with lawsuits.
Yeah, and Musk has what Adam Carolla likes to refer to as "fuck me" money.
Yeah,
and there's FU money, which is I have enough money to bury you, but Musk has so much money, he's a trillionaire, for God's sake, or he can just bury himself. He can make it the most unreasonable amount of money to piss away just for the purpose of burying somebody.
Right. Well, this is not somebody. That's what I'm trying to say. Alex Gibney is backed by the entire finances of the deep state. That's who finances the movie. So he indirectly has extremely deep pockets as well, because his benefactors, if you want to call them that, are the deep state itself.
Which could be interesting.
I know, that's what I was trying to say.
But I will tell you this: the same way that there is benefactors may mean that he'll flip quicker than you realize, because they don't need that getting out. Because if it goes to court, discovery might be the biggest threat of all. If he can pull every email that Alex Gibney gets and everything else, so all of a sudden you might see Gibney suddenly settle. So I don't know how it.
Well, I don't know about settle. I mean, the movie is going to go out there and cause him incredible harm. He's not a elected official. I mean, Musk, is a citizen, and if they put out slanderous things on Musk, he has every right to take them down.
I will make you a bet right now that early in the movie he'll say something like, "This is a work of fiction."
Oh, he's never done that before.
Don't waste inspired by no. Oh, well, okay. Well, we'll see.
Well, he's never done that before, and
well, we'll see.
Right. You might want to look at the founder of WikiLeaks, who ended up in jail because of his last documentary.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Julian Assange.
Yeah, Musk did a hit job from Universal. Universal Pictures was used as the pipeline for the money from the deep state to fund his picture about the founder of WikiLeaks.
Sure.
And that led to part of the destruction plan by Hillary Clinton and others to take down Julian Assange. He was called out about it in a screening in London by some students who found out that his father was a CIA operative, and he walked off the stage at that point. But he got a phone call one day, Alex Gibney, that is, saying, "Would you like to do a hit job on Julian Assange for $2 million?" And he said, "Yes, of course." And that's where the beginning of the funding went towards the documentary of taking down Julian Assange. He didn't put up at the beginning that this was a work of fiction. And in fact,
Julian Assange isn't Elon Musk.
Again, it's another targeted hit by the deep state.
Okay, well,
that's all I'm saying.
Well, no, I know, I understand that, but this is a different political climate. He's been working on this movie for a while now. You already said that, so he's working on it during Biden.
Yeah,
you have a different guy in the White House. You have a different administration, and there is potential. And I'm just throwing out there that he may have to do that. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Let me see. Anyway, that wraps up Torn from the Headlines. Everybody play a tune in your head. We'll figure something out. I don't know, maybe AI or something else, but on to locals.